Howdy there, gents. Morning to you. Um, just smoking on some of that straight up English, that one of those Cornell and Deal small batch blends from years ago that I really liked and stocked up on. Smoking it actually, possibly one of my favorite um, billiards. So it's super elegant. It's got the thin little shank. Really enjoying it. As soon as I got it, it was right there in the top 5 rotation. But I was thinking the other day I was watching some of the confirmation hearings and whatnot, and you get so pleased with a victory. Sometimes you're so busy gloating that you don't, you know what I mean? You don't realize what's going on, like, cause a lot of changes happened recently, and all this. I was kind of, I feel like it's almost like pointing at another, being in high school and you're in a clique, and you're pointing at this other clique saying, look at a bunch of idiots those guys are. I feel like I was just doing that, because there may be bad politicians other parts of the world, and there are here too. But most of the time they're on script. They're pretty well scripted. But to see those confirmation hearings and see those people speak extemporaneously, not and to be honest, it's rather forgiving. It's almost generous to call that extemporaneous, because they literally have paid aides that we pay for. We pay for their aides. So they have paid aides that whisper little things in their ears. This is what you should say next. And even then, they're absolute morons. They're morons. Just dumb as a fence post morons. I sometimes it's like I have like a glitch. I'm like, is that a glitch in the Matrix there? Like, what in the hell? How did you get it too elevated to office? You haven't 2 brain cells to rub together. They get, and you get kind of blind. Oh, you have a political victory or something goes on. You feel good about it, and then something wakes you up, and you're like, holy crap! These are the people are running the show here. Because if so, we ain't sending our best and brightest. Let's be honest here. We are not sending our best and brightest. Very, very few of those people that I've seen personally that I thought were above average. Put it that way, above average. Very few. So I can't cast shade on like British politicians or anything anymore. Anybody else's politicians. They're as bad as a despot would be. They're tyrants. But it's a tyranny of the stupid, the idiocracy, almost. They're just that dumb, and that's a damn shame. It's a damn shame. But it is what it is. What are you gonna do? Luckily, there have to be so many of them, But when you get to see them extemporaneously, it's like, whew, the mask comes off. You see what kind of an operator they really are. Usually, I would think of people as, politicians as the adults in the room, or the authority, whether you like it or not. And we spend our whole lives, with the authority, above us, and you kind of just accept that. But then when you see the wizard behind, or the guy behind the curtain, it's like, oh my God, it's worse than I thought. Oh, Jesus. This is awful. You know, like, it's awful. It's terrible. It's terrible. We're being governed by absolute half-wits. You know, these people are they're dullards. You know, they they they're not very smart. Not very smart at all. I mean, and sometimes you see them when they have the scandals, and you're like, how did that guy let himself get caught? But you think it's a fluke, see? And then you see it's not a fluke. They're just stupid. They're just stupid, genuinely stupid people. You know, stupid. It is what it is. You know, whether we like it or not, half of the people out there are below average. That's how averages work. I mean, it sucks, but it is what it is. You just kind of, I mean, I would be willing to bet that the average IQ in the Senate or in British Parliament is probably right around where the average IQ of the rest of the population is, you know. So, and man, some of those banshees screaming, oh God, they're just like, oh my God, are you're that stupid, seriously. Or like that woman Karen Bass. If you need help, you can find it at URL. What did you just say? Like, this is crazy. And it makes sense. Oh, this is how you became a socialist. You know, this is this is why you liked the El Comandante so much. You know, I mean, oh my God. And Gavin Newsom, like, my heart goes out to the people in California because, I mean, these are mental defectives. And it just shows you that how you know, we have these really complex systems, and it's like they run really well, you know, but they run really well and they can handle a lot of breakdown, you know, they can have a lot of errors that happen all at once. But once that breakdown happens, it just comes to an absolute screeching halt. Like, that's it. It comes to a halt. Nothing can happen. You know, and I feel like that video I did about that girl talking about the UK, California is like a perfect example for that. Those people pay the most in income taxes in the whole country. And what did it get them? What did it get them? It got them migrants in 4-star hotels. It got them huge cities of of tents. But when when the winds kick up, it doesn't protect their cities from being burned down, doesn't protect their forests from being burned down, doesn't protect the earth from carbon either, apparently. You could pay tons of money for climate change, and then blow 100 years of that in one day in a forest fire. I mean, that's it's insane. It's absolutely insane. And I do think that a lot of chickens have come home to roost in this last 6 months, last month. I don't know, whatever you want to say. I mean, a lot of chickens have come home to roost. You know, poor governance, incompetence. That guy Gavin Newsom, he's a piece of work, man. He's something else. I mean, I've always known that guy was a snake, but just to see, he's less than a stuffed shirt. That guy's less than a stuffed shirt, man. I mean, he talks and he does all his little his oh, we gotta pull that back, you know, his rhetorical trickery and his rhetorical chicanery that he does, where he's, you know, does a lot of pantomiming. But when it comes down, you know, when it goes down, like Daniel Plainview in There Will Be Blood. When the show goes down, they won't be there. He won't be there. Or Karen Bass, she wasn't there. She was in Ghana for a presidential shindig or something or other. I don't know, who the hell knows. And then he's standing there with his hands in his back pockets, watching his constituents' freaking houses burn down. And then he wants to blame somebody who's not in power, who warned him of this, and who tried to force him to take care of business, and he fought tooth and nail against it. And now it's like, God, he's stripped of all his defense mechanisms, and all of a sudden, nobody can afford to have those luxury beliefs anymore. When they lose all their houses, like, I don't have a terrible amount of sympathy for some of these people. They got what they voted for. They got it good and hard. But it's like it just blows my mind. There are people that were just scraping by in those places, that lost their house, they lost everything. And then you hear somebody else, they're like, yeah, my agent, he lost his house on Monday, and then he lost his second house on Tuesday. Can you believe that? Like, dude, are you? I mean, it just blows my mind that they're so disconnected. That, like, dude, keep that to yourself. That your second house burned down, that's not going to do you any favors. You're not. That's no help to your cause. You know what I mean? It's just, I don't know. It's like, are you trying to push people away? Because, I mean, and it blows my mind too. Like, there's a reason why people say small government, limited government, because, like North Carolina, that hurricane hit, and they were walking by people's houses that had Trump signs out in front of them. That's why government has to be limited. Because when you put them in charge of more stuff, you allow them to discriminate against more people. You allow political parties, partisans, a power over you, because that's all the government is. It doesn't matter what side you're on. No matter what, there's always going to be a side that dislikes you. And it's like, goodness gracious, will you quit giving these people power? Because every time you do it, they just use it against all of us. But I mean, some people seem to think that government is the answer, to all the problems. I assure you, it's not. People in Russia can tell you that. People in Cuba can tell you that. I've known a lot of Cubans that if, living in Florida, I've known a lot of Cubans, and, it's that Cuba was not a fun place. It was not a fun place. It was no utopia. That's for damn sure. It is no utopia to this day, and, anyway, I just, I had to jump on. I just needed to vent a little bit. I freaking lost my Yeti gallon jug last night. I set it up on the corner of my bed and then took off, came back, $120 jug gone. Man, it's still eating me up. Like, it just burns me up, man, when I lose, stuff, nice stuff that I placed a lot of value in. Anyway, yeah, I had to get these things off my chest. I hope you all have a, splendiferous day, and and enjoy some tobacco on your way to work or whatnot. But until next time, gentlemen, keep your tobacco dry.